Hello. Are you wondering how a divorce will affect your green card process or how it's going to affect your permanent residence? Well, this video is for you. My name is Jorge Molina. I am an immigration attorney based in Dallas-Fort Worth and serving clients worldwide. And today we're going to be talking about how a divorce might affect your green card process. Marriage is really hard. And often, despite our best efforts, it just is not working out. And we have to get a divorce. So the question arises, right? So what's going to happen with my green card? Or what's going to happen with my green card process? Well, we're going to be talking about some of the effects that you might have, but we're going to limit the conversation to 3 scenarios. What would a divorce do if you haven't gotten your green card first? Second, what would be the effect of divorce if you do have your green card, but you have a conditional residence? And scenario number 3, you're already a lawful resident and you want to become a U.S. citizen. So scenario number 1, it's actually pretty straightforward. If you get divorced before getting your green card, you're not eligible for a green card anymore. In some limited circumstances, if you're married to a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident, and you were the victim of extreme cruelty or assault, battery, you might be eligible for some other forms of relief. But those are very limited cases, and it doesn't happen in every scenario. But by and large, if you get divorced, there's no cruelty or assault or anything like that, you just wouldn't be eligible for that lawful residence any longer because your relationship ended before you got the benefit. Now, scenario number 2, let's say you do get the residency, but you've been married to your former spouse for less than 2 years and you have a conditional residence. Well, what happens then, right? You have a requirement to apply to remove the conditions of your residency. So here, the question that comes up often is, well, should I say married to this person because, I haven't removed the conditions? Here's my first piece of information for your knowledge. Marriage fraud is a criminal offense, and when it comes to light, they will remove all your immigration benefits. Okay, so even if you become a U.S. citizen, many years later, immigration can come back and say, well, that was marriage fraud, and we're going to take it away. So don't do it. So the question is, well, if the marriage is over, what can I do? Well, there's a few exceptions to a joint filing requirement. Exception number 1, if you're not at fault, you can argue that even though you're not at fault, and that not removing the conditions, not granting this waiver, would result in extreme hardship to your person. Okay, so for example, if you couldn't survive back in your home country, or there's some other reason, for example, children, businesses, so something like that, you can try and argue extreme hardship. Scenario number 2, to grant the waiver, that your marriage was entered in good faith, that was a legitimate marriage, but that it was terminated. Again, here you must show that you were not at fault. And scenario number 3 would be saying that it was a legitimate marriage, but you were the victim of either extreme cruelty or violence. Okay, so in those scenarios, instead of filing jointly with your former spouse, you would request a waiver of the joint filing requirements. Okay, so that, after this, the other scenario that this comes up is whenever a person is a lawful permanent resident and then they want to become a U.S. citizen, right? Again, here, if there's any marriage fraud and it comes to light, immigration, even though you're now a U.S. citizen, immigration can reopen proceedings, take away your citizenship because a marriage fraud was committed. But assuming there's nothing of that sort, but you're a lawful permanent resident, your relationship just didn't work out, and then you want to become a U.S. citizen. The only difference here is that for those that who are still married to a United States citizen, they can apply for citizenship 3 years after becoming permanent residents. Otherwise, pretty much everyone else, you would have to wait 5 years to apply for citizenship. They do ask you about your marriage history. They always look for any indications of marriage fraud. So be very careful with that. Just don't do it, because it will come back to bite you. It's a crime, and it's very easy to find out. Again, folks, my name is Jorge Molina. If you like this video, hit like, share, perhaps follow us, or leave a comment. And if you're in a situation where you're wondering how your particular case is going to be affected by divorce, you don't know what to do, consult an experienced immigration attorney. Right? Thank you for watching.